Hey, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining me tonight and get things in focus here. I am Simeon with PRaiseTracks.com. We are a Christian production company. We do custom soundtracks and we have a great music library. I also love to share new technology with you guys and those that are in music. I'm a keyboard player. But I love to do experiments with all the instruments, and IK Multimedia has introduced a brand new plugin. It's been out for a little while, but I've had some time to kind of look at it. We just posted a review on our website, PRaiseTracks.com, and you can go check out the full review. But I thought it would be fun to do a live broadcast of just of a live run through. We're going to take a look at some of the features of the plugin and just see how we can use it and hear what it sounds like. So we're going to pull it up here, and this is the plugin window here. This is what it comes up to, and you have this bass library. And what this is Modo Bass from IK Multimedia, and it is the first physically modeled bass guitar VST plugin. This is a VST plugin. You can use it on your Mac or PC, and I use the plugin in Sonar Platinum, and that's what I'm hosting the plugin in right at the moment. So let's just take a quick look and see what we have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got about 11 basses here. 10. We got 10. Okay. So, but what is so amazing is we're not using samples. The guys at IK Multimedia and their partners have taken each of these classic bass guitars, and they've taken them and broken them down into, like, you know, the wood and the strings and the pickups, the electronics, all the components that go into a bass guitar. They have recreated in a digital as a digital model. So, you know, it's just amazing, and I love the concept of physical modeling. As a lot of you know, if you've listened to any of our music, you know that I'm a big fan of physical modeling when it comes to pianos and different things like that. But this is the first time that this technology has been brought into the bass guitar specifically. So let's just look at it again. So here, you know, you have the guitar, and you have a keyboard underneath the fretboard here. So let's just go ahead and just right out of the box. This is a model of a 1970s era J bass or jazz bass. You can't really they're not really going to use the brand names like Fender, or I can say it, but you know, or Precision or Yamaha, and this violin bass is something like Paul McCartney would use. Used with the Beatles. So it's just amazing how they've gone through this library, created and packed so many different types of basses in here, and you have control over what can bring them to life. So I like the jazz bass. So let's just start with that, and I'm just going to just start playing a couple of notes here, and you hear the release. Now, when I hit this note, I'm not triggering a sample. I am telling Modo Bass, okay, I'm playing a G, and I'm hitting it at a certain velocity. And so, in real time, Modo Bass is calculating what this bass string sounds like with this particular bass, with this particular pickup, and it's doing it all in real time. It's generating the sound based on the modeling of this bass's components, from all the way from the wood, the neck, the strings, everything. So let's try that again. and how hard I'm hitting it, what the finger would sound like, the buzzing, the release noises, all of it. And let's just play some more. So, and one of the things is you can't play a keyboard player. I'm a keyboard player so I'm stuck with the paradigm of the black and white keys. But the bass guitar, you've got 4 strings and a fretboard. So how does that translate? So you notice as I'm walking up the scale, you see the strings position and the fretboard change. And that makes it even more authentic. It makes it playable. It's almost just like if you take a violin or a viola or a cello or a trumpet and you play those outside of their natural range, it's not going to sound authentic. It's not going to sound real. It's not going to fit into what you're going to be doing as a music producer or in your track. You're going to be able to find out right away, well, that's not a real violin or whatever. So I appreciate the fact that they constrain us keyboard players into the reality of what it is to play a bass guitar. And so let's go look into some of the details. You've got a 70s jazz bass, 4 strings, round wound strings, and the gauge is medium. Now, and look at the detail. The age, it's broken in. The scales, 34 degrees, frets, 20 frets. The action is standard. The circuitry is passive. Pickup B, and they go into details on the 70s J BSC pickup, and then the pickup N 70s J NSC. And then, is it a piezo? No, it's 0. So it's just pretty, it's pretty amazing. And so here you see all the details here on the specs on this bass, and it's pretty incredible, pretty detailed. This here, it's the hand position. You're not going to play necessarily in the same position on the bass. You're going to hit the strings a little bit in a different area, different target. So this is a control that allows you to kind of, get that realism, get that randomness of where you're going to you're going to play it. Because up and down this area, you're going to get different sounds. So let's check that out. You can hear the tone change just ever so slightly. So that's pretty cool. And the thing is, every time you hit a note, it's generating a new set of parameters. So you're not going to get the same sound necessarily. It's going to be something totally new and dynamic based on what you play. So let's go to this next tab. So we're still going to work with the 70s jazz bass, but let's just quickly, we can just kind of, I'll switch back and forth a little bit. Just a different body. It just sounds just a little richer. And see here we have this. They call it the devil bass. Just a different resonance and tone based on the design and the setup. Yeah, you can hear a definite change in the... Now this is a 5-string bass. You can really get down there. And it's those little weird in-between sounds that's in there that just brings it to life. And there's a lot of history in these classic basses. Another 5-string. And because it's not a sampled bass, the memory footprint is so small as opposed to loading a bass that has, maybe a gig of samples. That's kind of cool. Just a different character. Just a different characteristic, and really cool. And the Japanese bass, just really nice and clean. You notice here the circuitry, it's active, so it's a brighter sound. It's a more solid state. And then the flame bass. I think I actually know somebody that knew somebody or played with somebody that used to have one of those. Okay. Let's go into play style, and you'll notice up here you have finger, pick, and slap. I guess the jazz bass is really a favorite of mine, so we'll go back to that. So finger style, and then you've got a pick style, and you hear how the strings react. They got a little buzz, and so you notice here you have the finger, pick, and slap. Wow. Okay. So, and then this stroke, it alternates between slap and pull. So you're slapping the bass with your thumb, or pulling those. You're pulling it. That's a pull, and then you're slapping it with you're palming it. But what this does, it alternates them. It'll just alternate them, and depending on the notes that you're playing. So that just imparts another realism. And then you have let ring. So watch what happens when I. So like that last note, you just let it ring out, and then fingering, and just different ways of getting it to play. Let's just do nearest here, and then the strings, open strings, and you have a control over the note release, and then the slide. You just have control over those levels just to kind of fine tune it. Here's the strings. We've got it set up as a 4-string. The action standard and high and low, and I guess it just depends on just as you would set up a real bass. And you just hear those little subtle changes. The type of string, you got round wound strings, flat wound. Now the flat wound, gives you more. I don't know. I don't want to call it dull, but it's a flatter. And then the round wound just gives you a little brighter tone. And then the gauge, medium, heavy, and light. All of these have an effect on the tone. Let's do medium gauge here. And then the age, broken in, some real old greasy strings. You know what? You've had those strings a long time, so you can get a brand new set of strings. Just click on that. And a broken in set. So that's kind of fun. And this is pretty cool. Now let's get into the pickups. You have pickups here, and then the bridge. So you have a way of digging into all of these different pickup types, and these are derived from the different bass models, the bass models here. And what's so cool is you can take the 70s jazz. Let's say you don't want that. Let's say we want the Japanese, the Japan BHB pickup here. So boom, there you go. And that changes the tone. It just changes the sound. It changes the dynamic of it. So let's look at this next one on the neck. And let's just, and so you can make it. So it just gives you so much. I mean, it's, and then watch what you can do here. Just click and drag, and you hear the distance. And let's go back to the fingered style here. Let's go back to the electronics. Pretty cool. Now this is where it kind of gets fun. Let's go ahead and reset it back to the default. And let's go into the amp effects, and boom, here you go. You got your bass room here. You've got two types of amps. You've got a tube type, and here you have control over the gain, the bass, the mid frequencies. It's almost like a parametric. So you can adjust that. And then you've got you can punch it. So you've got different settings for the amp. You can drive that thing, or you can you can make it clean. Then here you have stomp boxes, which are pretty cool. You've got a little pedal board, and you have 4 slots where you can have just different effects here. Like you've got a compressor, you've got a graphic EQ. We can play with that. That just will shape, just help shape your sound here, which is pretty cool. You have a octaver. Okay, let's go back here. Let's go back to the EQ here. See, we didn't have that enabled. So now, and then the little red lights on the pedal board come on. So let's turn the compressor off. Boom. Oh yeah. It helps when you have it turned on. And I got that thing pretty drove. Got the gain kind of cranked up here. Yeah, you can get some really crazy effects here. And here's the octaver. So it takes the note, the bass note here, and it'll double it with one that's an octave lower. Well, that's pretty cool. Now, an envelope filter. Yeah, that's getting a little funky there. Well, you can tell I'm having too much fun with this. So, okay, let's go back to the model. Let's just go ahead and reset it to the default. Get back here to business here. But what's so cool is they've given you so much control. They've given you such a variety of basses. They've given you all the tools you need here to control it, to shape the sound, and all of this is being done in real time on your PC, in your DAW, not taking up a lot of disk space and not taking up a lot of physical memory. And it is just amazing that they can go through and do all of this. It just blows my mind here. It's just really cool. So let's go on, and then you have a whole list of presets here. We can they've already worked. You got a Jocko. So they've gone through and given you some really neat presets to start. Okay, so here's some extreme psychedelic. That's pretty crazy. Okay, but you know, you have so many cool things you can do, like some slap, and it's using delays and different types of effects. Pick like a pick. So no matter what type of music that you're into or that you're producing, you've got just such a huge palette of basses here. Okay, let's go into the control and let's show you what's going on here. Now, it's just not about playing notes. You've got so much control over exactly how this is being done, and so you've got the let ring, and like let's reset this model here. And let's go ahead and let's go back here. Here we go. So here you have these key switches. I've got an 88 note controller that I'm using. So let's look at what's happening here. So down here you have those control notes. So that's the let ring. So that's like a ghost note. You go. It's those in-between notes when you're doing some fast runs and different things. Those little ghost notes kind of come in and just really make a real realistic. It just makes everything so realistic. And then you've just got so many different controls. You can, this changes. This will change whether it's a hammer on or you're pulling. Just changes that, and you have all sorts of different things. The harmonic, and you can let ring. So that switches that. And these force strings means that mean no matter what note that you're playing, you're forcing them to be played on a specific string. So the G0 key is telling Modo Bass, I only want the notes played on that G string, and you can see the fretboard and the keyboard is just playing that G string. Now watch when I release that key. See, it's alternating between the different strings, and then we have you can change the play style from finger to pick to slap here. So you can go between that, and also your pedal. You notice that the legato slide is lighting up. So let's go back to the finger mode and we'll play a note. Press the pedal. You hear it sliding up to that. There you go. And see, it's all in the same string. And so if you want to do a really wild slide, there you go. Now you notice that I can't do a slide from C to C because it uses different strings. So let's force the E string, and we'll do a legato slide down, and we can slide back up. And this is all initiated when you are playing the sustain pedal. So that's kind of fun. Okay, and I'm going to show you something pretty cool. I'm using a Korg Nano controller, and what you can do, you can set up the Nano controller to control all of these different parameters here, and you'll learn those controls like the muting control. So I've got it set up on this slider here. So I'm gonna so it controls that string being muted, how much mute that's going to be. So, and this is kind of cool. Let's go back to the model screen. So the second controller I have set up to control the pluck position. So you can see me and watch that slide. And the way that I did that, it allows you to learn the controller. So let's click on this controller here. And we're going to learn, we're going to select learn, and we're going to just slide the controller here, and there you go. So if you've got a keyboard controller with some physical knobs and sliders and buttons, you can assign them so when you're playing, you can control that. And if your DAW records automation, then that can be a part of that. So, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So, tell you what we'll do. Let's just kind of put something together, just to see what happens here. And okay. So let's just try something here. Let's lay down a little beat. Okay, so that's kind of fun. So I'm going to go and let's lay down a keyboard part here. And this is using Applied Acoustic Systems Lounge Lizard, which is a physically modeled Rhodes. So let's see what we got going on. That's fun. Okay, now let's lay down some moto bass here. And so let's make sure. And the pitch bend wheel, you can use that to slide the mod wheel. To give you a little vibrato here. So let's see what happens here. Let's go and lay some moto bass down. Okay, now let's try that again. Okay, it's just so much fun, and I'm going to turn the Rhodes off. Okay. A little crazy, but fun. Oh, man. So, so I hope you enjoyed just spending some time, with me running through IK Multimedia's Moto Bass, and check it out. And because I know that once you get into it, you're gonna really enjoy it. The flexibility, the way that you can control so many of the different parameters, and you have so many different basses and types of basses and things. They've just given you a whole bunch of stuff to enjoy and to make good music. And so thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.